What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys really quickly. I just got into the garage. It is literally 7:01 p.m. right now. I dropped the video today and I read the comments where people were saying that the video audio is a little distorted, and I went to go watch it and I was like, that's weird, because the raw file rendered off my PC before YouTube is clean. So I spent about 4 hours this morning since I woke up to re-render the video a couple of different times, and each time comes out flawlessly except one. The audio distorted at the end of the video, which is why I thought it was good, because I was watching the front half of it. But for the most part, it doesn't distort the way this video uploaded today. And guys, I don't know what's going on. I'm using a different camera, and I doubt it's the microphone. And I do have a DJI mic, you know, a big shout out to the homie Jonathan and Brian, but like, I don't think it's an audio problem. I literally recorded between now and, you know, then I'm on 3 different cameras, so I doubt it's 3 different you know, recording devices with messed up mics. But I'm really trying to get down to the bottom of why the audio is getting all jacked up, guys, and please bear with me. The channel is already kicking my butt, and now the audio is messing up too. I just can't win. I just can't win, but we're still trooping. We're still trooping. So anyways, previous video, we kind of worked on the KRX a little bit. We tried to button it all up. We got it back on the ground. We drove it around. We adjusted the ride height for the slicks, and the car is currently back on the slipstreams. And yesterday I came out here and I adjusted the ride height some more to my preference for front and rear skinnies, and the KRX is just about ready to rock and roll. I fixed the fuel line leak and whatever else I needed to do, but I have not spent the time to like come out here, clean the garage, and move stuff to the storage unit, which I'm still going to try to do probably tomorrow because it's already closed now. Granted, I came out here a little bit late. I want to keep this video a little simple. I went to the storage unit, I grabbed the spare valve cover. I want to strip it down. I already got the bungs to do the dash 10s for it, and also the paint to paint the valve cover that's going to go onto the KRX. I want to do all of that today, along with probably in between. The front bumper is not on the KRX. I might flip the car around, do the rear bumper license plate light holder, because since I bought the car, somebody tried to put LED strips in it, and I just kind of like half-ass ripped it out and put one of the OEM bulbs back in, but it's not in the slot. It's literally just hanging in front of the license plate. Also, probably take off the rear bumper as well too, because if I can lighten up the rear bumper bar, I'll probably try to do that as well too. But first and foremost in today's video is to prep and paint the valve cover, and everything else kind of sort of in between. So with that being said, let's get to work. So I have a bunch of like factory valve covers right there that I don't want to touch, because the factory coating is kind of hard to take off if you don't use a sandblaster. I have this Royal Rally blue valve cover right here with bungs on it already, but this is like my OG wagon valve cover, so I don't want to strip that. I went to the storage unit and I got this red wrinkle one that my homie blessed me with, but the wrinkle is not consistent. You see how it's all flat and everything, and because this is rattle can, the paint stripper should strip this much easier than the OEM coating. So let's strip this valve cover. I'm using the same stripper from last time, clean strip. If you guys know of a stronger stripper, leave a comment down below. I've always used Aircraft, but where I was at the time didn't have it, so I just kind of grabbed this off the shelf. It worked well, but OEM coating, like I said, it's just a little harder to, you know, take off. But what the fuck? So I'm using the same material as last time. This is a brand called Clean Strip, and it works okay. It doesn't work as strong as like Aircraft remover, which didn't have at the place I was at, so I grabbed this instead. If you guys know of a good paint stripper, leave a comment down below. Hopefully this will take off the rattle can job here much easier, and I'm hoping that underneath all of this is also kind of prepped. But I'm gonna go ahead and just brush this on as thick as possible, and then we're gonna wrap it in some saran wrap. I want to show you guys the ride height real quick. It may look like it has a big ass gap right there, which it does actually, but with the slicks on, I have about 1.25 inches from the top of the slick, because when I test fitted the first time, the fender was sitting on top of the slick, cutting a groove into it. So this ride height is going to accommodate the slicks. And I also raise up the rear. It's about 1/2 inch higher than the front. And when I drag race, I prefer my car to be raked. So it is a little bit higher than the front, and I'm okay with that. When I'm not racing this car at the track, I will be swapping it over to a different suspension to bring the ride height lower. And then I'm just gonna keep this suspension for track use only, just so I don't have to like alter the ride height 1,000 times. Not gonna lie to you guys, that looks like the OEM gray on the valve cover, because you can see the other color underneath the gray. So I'm not entirely sure if this valve cover was prepped to begin with, but we're gonna continue. So I'm gonna wire it down, just see if I can speed up the process here. Oh, okay. Not too shabby. Most of the red came off the valve cover, except just small areas, not a big deal. All the surface for the grommet is off as well too, so that's freaking awesome. So I'm gonna take off the rest of the red here, and then I'm gonna hit this with the DA to smooth it all out, because that is definitely the original silver that comes factory in the valve cover. So I'm just gonna hit it with the DA to kind of smooth all that out and start prepping for welding. Valve cover looking really nice and smooth. Got pretty much most of the OEM coating off on the surface that is more accessible, not on the inside here, but I mean, you're really not going to see with the coil packs and the harness in the way. So I spent a little bit more time shaving off the little excess casting that was on the edge right here, and also on the back side as well too. Looking really good, nice and smooth. And I did also mark out the holes for the bungs based off that valve cover, and this is pretty much just gonna slip in like that, and then I'm just gonna weld it up. Got that port welded shut. Got a little baffle right here on the inside. 2-10 bungs. Let's get this valve cover into primer. I read a comment this morning on yesterday's video, and somebody was pretty butthurt about the video being an older video. Older in the sense of like the order of videos to be uploaded. And because I film so much, practically every day, and I only upload 3 times a week, I don't really have to explain this to you guys. If you follow me on Instagram, you guys know I call it PTO. And if you guys know, you know. If you don't know, well, you don't know. But I record a lot, just about every day. Upload 3 times a week. And I got videos that roll over. Yesterday's video drop, which was, I believe, August 7th or something like that. But the video was recorded on my phone, said July 19th or something like that, somewhere mid-July, and the person was pretty salty about watching a video that was dated back almost a few weeks. But anyways, I just thought it was pretty funny. But I'm gonna wipe down the valve cover, lay down some 1K primer, let that dry up really well before we do the base coat, and I'm going to black and white it like I did the valve cover for the silver sedan. And if you guys follow the build on the KRX years before, it's a familiar color. It's a familiar color, and I want to bring it back. But leave a comment down below if you guys know what the color is. Don't cheat, don't scroll to the end. You guys will see the color eventually, but it's a color I'm bringing back, and it means a lot. So I got the car jacked up just to make it a little easier to access the hardware underneath the car. To take off the rear bumper, it's pretty simple. I gotta hold this with my head because I have not replaced the shocks yet. But underneath here, the panel, there are two 12mm, I think they're nuts. There's two 12 nuts, like in right there somewhere. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's one there, and there's one on the opposite side. And then underneath the car, there should be oh, this one has a cover on it. Okay, so under this cover there should be, like, I think 2 more. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. Oh yeah, you definitely can't see it. There's 2 nuts right here in the back, opposite side, and then obviously the 2 screws on the side of the bumper, and this whole entire bump support should slide right out. So this right here is the rear bumper off my KRX. The bumper support itself, man, is super freaking heavy, right? I don't know how much it actually weighs, and I'm trying to figure out how to cut it, because I do want to kind of keep the foam in here, although I did remove it from the front. And if you buy aftermarket like bash bar for the rear, it doesn't have the foam at all. And honestly, if this car ever got rear-ended, it's gonna get smushed. This thing is a tin can. Driving EFs are tin can. So if I really want to do some weight reduction, I could most definitely like cut the biggest part of the support out, which is this giant piece, and then keep the thin part. And I do want to keep these bottom ones to kind of hold the bottom of the bumper in place rather than it flopping. So I gotta figure how I'm gonna go about doing that. And then the light bulb sockets itself. Fortunate for me, whoever tried to put the LEDs in here, they kept the original plugs, but they cut it right at the socket. And the socket looks like this, right? This is the left side that I had kind of hanging around. And you can't really access this hole from like here. So I kind of just left it hanging. But it's supposed to go into the socket holder. And then it has this little dome right here that illuminates the light onto your license plate. And I'm probably gonna take these off and clean them as well because they're pretty dusty, and probably find a socket in my side marker bin somewhere to get the passenger side wired up as well too, like that. Before I get to cutting the bumper, I do want to lay down some paint on the valve cover. I got another boxer here from Tropical Glitz. If you guys don't remember, we did the cosmic pink on the silver sedan. Looks freaking awesome. I do have another color Tropical Glitz for the JDM EF2, but I need to find a VTEC valve cover because I don't have an extra one. And then this one right here, black and white. Let's get it. Their packaging, pretty on par. There's so many shades of this color to choose, and I hope I chose the right one. Let's lay down the first coat. Just like the pink valve cover, I'm hoping that with layers, this thing's gonna darken up to the shade that I'm looking for. It's looking promising though. Let's go for round two. Before anybody say anything about like, oh, you shouldn't cut it because, you know, it serves a purpose or whatever. If you guys don't know the JDM cars overseas, all of them has thin JDM bumper support. So this is the rear bumper support for CRX SIR, like overseas. And look how thin that thing is, right? This is the rear. Let me show you guys the front. Here's the front. The USDM has that giant bulk that goes all the way across, that heavy piece, right? This is the JDM bumper support. So again, I'm just literally like taking the advantage of lightening up the bumper support, kind of like converting it over to a JDM bumper support while saving weight, if that makes sense. But every ounce counts when you're trying to go fast. So I'm just gonna go ahead. I don't think I have cutting disc. I have Harbor Freight ones. They're a little thick and they're a little aggressive. I guess I'm gonna use that. So I just did the third coat on the valve cover. It's looking good. It's got good coverage. I have one run on the back side of the valve cover, which I'm not worried about. I'm gonna let it dry for 10-15, and then I'm gonna mix up some clear coat. I just cleaned up my workbench of all the grinding dust, all my tools, cut off wheels, everything. The bumper support, dude, super freaking light, super freaking light. It's still going to have structural support because this is going to tie into the bumper. The bumper is going to tie into the support all around anyways, and this is what we are left with. The bucket, I decided to leave the full entire thing because more contact the better, right? But I will say this thing is like super freaking light compared to what it was before. I don't know the actual weight of all the pieces we cut off, but maybe later I'll measure it all together because I still have the front one right here. This is the front. This is pretty heavy, and I mean this guy right here as well too. These guys belong on the side, so one day I'll measure all of that to see how much weight we actually took off. So right now I'm not even gonna bother like cleaning the surface of the bumper support. I did round off all the edges, so it's not gonna cut me whatsoever. Super clean. I'm just gonna rhino line it and then put it back into the bumper, fix the light, and then reinstall it back into the car. Look at that. I got two freaking sockets right here, and it doesn't have any pigtails, so I definitely have to solder it in. In case you guys didn't know, you can use these for side markers as well too. It's the same pattern, literally. I got a whole gang of them here. Man, all of this right here from the junkyard. I need to make a visit to the junkyard because it's been a minute. Wire cutter, got two shrink tube, solder, flux, my good old Milwaukee solder right here. This thing works amazing. I freaking love this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and just solder these two guys right here. All done. Look at the lenses for the license plate lights. You can't even see anything out of it. Clean this real quick. The KRX was repainted at one point in time, and there's a lot of overspray on the lens right here, but I think it looks a lot better than it did. That should illuminate the light, no problem. Bumper support is reinstalled along with the tail light harness, and I made sure both the bulbs work beforehand. And now we are ready to reinstall this back into the KRX. And there you have it. Bumper is back on. Lights are working. Got my new tags. Let's go. That guy right there. I think that's the one that's out. Oh, you know working, huh? 6 years ago, guys. 6 years ago, I put the 9091 tail lights on here. This car is an 88, by the way. And I guess I never swapped this because 6 years that tail light has always been out. And you can't, well, you probably can't see, but that first filament on the top is gone. Alrighty, dual filament. That is what we're looking for. So it looks like the tail light is good. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything back together, drop this car back on the ground, and just shoot some clear coat on that valve cover. I should have done it first because the sun's going down. The sun would have helped dry that clear coat if I shot it earlier. Ooh, damn, first layer. It's already looking good. Ooh, look at that right there. However many layer this amount of clear coat would put on, it's what we're going to take. It's not much, but that first coat's already looking fire. Let's go. I was able to squeeze 3 coats of clear out of the mixture that I have of clear coat, and there's probably like maybe a bottle cap left right there at the bottom. And I'm super stoked on how this valve cover came out. It's tacky right now, so it is a slow drying process. Granted, it is a little chilly right now, and at some point in time I swept this corner right here. If you guys saw this in real time, it has the streak of like a shirt sweeping it, but I mean, it doesn't really bother me. Granted, you know, we're always painting out here anyways. There's like dirt and debris all over, but I'm happy on how this thing turned out. 3 coats of clear, definitely put a ton of gloss on it. And I'm gonna go ahead and just let this dry throughout the rest of the night, probably in the next couple of days before I throw it onto the KRX, guys. I moved my sedan over there because I am going to be washing it right now for a car meet that I'm hoping to wake up to go to tomorrow. Bay Area Ham is going to be in Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz is nice weather for 1. 2, Bay Area Ham, always got to support them when I can because they start when I sleep usually, but I'm gonna try to sleep early tonight. Guys, I was not going to leave you off without showing you the color of the valve cover and it installed on the KRX. Right now I'm changing out the gasket because I didn't use the gasket to kind of make sure I got underneath the edges, so I did kind of overspray it a little bit. Still black and white on the video, but guys, when I get it fully installed I will show you the color. Look at the gloss on this thing real quick. 3 coats of clear coat. I'm loving it. I will say that there's not crazy metallic or glitter like the pink one, but it is the color I was going after. Oh my god, this thing looks so good. You know what's funny? This orange, for some reason, works with the color of the valve cover. And when I had the other one on here years before, I also did have a orange dipstick, and I don't know, it just, for some reason it works. Maybe it's just because of the brightness of the valve cover and the brightness of the dipstick. I don't know. Can't forget the spoon oil cap right here. Shout out to Jay. Gave this to me a long time ago when we threw a pop-up meet in SoCal. Ooh, that works. That works. Now, before I show you guys the new valve cover on the KRX, I want to show you the old one. This was sent to the PO box 6 years ago by one of you guys. Much appreciated. It's actually one of my favorite valve covers. It was on the first 3 years, and then when I swapped over to the K24, I took it off because one corner of it is cracked and it keeps leaking oil, and I didn't want to deal with it. So I put a stock one on, and it's been on there until we swapped in this K20 right here. So this valve cover, this color represents my city, and if you guys know where I'm from, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? This corner right here, it's what's all cracked, right? It's kind of sad about it. I don't know what happened to it, honestly, but I didn't want to deal with the leaking, so I took it off. Now, because I'm able to just paint valve covers whenever I want to, whenever I want to change the style, I decided to kind of go back to something similar to this. And I will say that it's a different shade of what I was going for, but realistically, the color that's on the KRX now kind of matches more of the color of what actually represents my city. And before I show you guys the color, I'm gonna take you guys to the laptop. If you guys don't know, I'm from San Jose and we represent the San Jose Sharks. That is our logo, and the color here is teal. It's a little bit weird on camera, but that is a teal color, okay? San Jose Shark, Shark City, tank shit, whatever you want to call it. But let's show you guys the valve cover color. I don't know about you guys, man, but that valve cover pops. Oh my goodness. Now I'm gonna be honest, I thought there were gonna be more flakes in it, but at the end of the day, you know, the Shark teal color, it's not flaky at all. It's literally a flat teal color, and I'm very happy on how this thing turned out. Super glossy, 3 coats of base, 3 coats of clear, super freaking smooth. I mean, it's not too far off from the old valve cover. I'm still overall super happy about it. Oh yeah, on camera it's like literally dark and light shade of teal. But if you guys are OGs, man, you guys remember this was on the car from the very beginning. Oh, and this is also new valve cover because I just realized that it's a metal barb. This one was aluminum and I chopped it off and welded it shut. Same thing I did on this one here. Give you guys one more look on this thing, dude. Running this video on a little too long. I was supposed to keep today's video super simple, guys, but sometimes you get lost in the sauce. I painted the valve cover yesterday. 1 coat of primer, 3 coat of base, and 3 coats of clear. And I wasn't gonna leave you guys off in this video without installing it on the car to show you the final product, but I was trying to let it sit for about a day or two to fully cure. And today was supposed to be a different vlog, right? Being very transparent here. I was gonna start a different vlog because you guys saw I washed and prepped the JDM EF2 to drive it to Santa Cruz today to attend the Bay Area ham meet. It didn't want to turn on this morning, so that entirely shifted my focus for today, but we attended the meet anyways. I jumped into my buddy Mauricio's Turbo CRX and we both cruised all the way up there, had a great time. And then when I got back, I was like, well, I didn't get to drive the EF2 today and I was supposed to work on the EF2 today, but I guess we'll just save that for a different day. And then I realized the valve cover was pretty damn dry and we installed it today to make some sort of progress, because progress is better than no progress, and it looks freaking amazing. Let me know in the comments below what your guys' opinion is on the new color for the valve cover. I think it pops really well. I think it pops really well. If there's a turbo guard that's teal, I would buy it because the one that's on the car is blue. But I love it nonetheless, guys. But anyways, we made progress. That's what all that matters. We got a new fresh valve cover on the KRX. The last thing is to put the bumper on, and we have a tune that's upcoming Saturday. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna tinker with the car a little bit here and there and here, and definitely taking you guys along to the dyno. I'm probably gonna touch the EF2 this week. There's some things I want to do to it, so I'm probably gonna switch the car around here in the next day or so. But as far as this video goes, man, we're done here in the garage tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, a little bit of progress on the KRX with the new valve cover. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for some EF2 content and the dyno video coming up here soon, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.